मेरा नाम श्रीराम है, श्रीराम अय्यर। गाना और म्यूजिक का बहुत शौक है, तो कहीं पे 2015 में मैंने डिसाइड किया कि मुझे एक स्टेज नेम चाहिए, तो हाँ सायर आ गया। 10 साल हो गए स्टेज नेम को क्रिएट करके।
Like I said, I'm going to introduce you all over again.
Sure.
मैं यहाँ पे notes लिख के लाया हूँ।
अरे बाप रे। हाँ।
तो he introduced only about his singing. Okay, now I'll tell you what his LinkedIn bio leads and what I know about him as well. He's a speaker. He's a leadership peak performance coach. He's a singer. He's extremely spiritual, and we'll hear about it. He's a writer-composer, so he writes his own songs, he composes music for it. He's an author, and we just learned about the various forms of books that he writes and what he thinks. वो भी आएगा. He's a cook. And कहीं से मुझे ऐसा सुनने में आया है कि what he's next going to be is a rocket scientist. सही है?
नहीं, वो रॉकेट साइंटिस्ट वाला पार्ट गलत है।
गलत है।
उसके अलावा बाकी सब ठीक है।
बाकी सब ठीक है। And in fact, the LinkedIn page says the singing speaker.
The singing speaker.
Correct.
So that is an advice given to me by my guru. He says, why don't you integrate your two personalities, right, and be the singing speaker, which is interestingly got a lot of traction. A lot of messages come randomly. That's very interesting.
Correct.
Trying a few things. So one thing is, I don't mind trying. I will fail miserably, spectacularly in public. I am okay with that. But I'm like, try kiya maine. But 2005, then Shankar Mahadevan happened in my life.
In Auckland.
In Auckland.
Beautiful.
I sang with him. So it was a big concert. We were involved in the concerts organization.
हो गया था.
Then I released my album. Shankar ji ने मेरे को ये वादा किया था कि you take your songs and make an album. And the day you finish your album, I will come launch it.
Welcome back to the second part of our conversation with Siyer Shriram Iyer. Shriram ji, welcome again.
Thank you, Sanjeev, for getting me on. I've really enjoyed part one, and I cannot wait for more conversations.
What's coming next? It's all about you, so there'll be no surprise there for sure.
No, it's not about me. I always think it's about everyone listening, and it's just about the conversation.
Correct.
It's about the learning. And yes.
Absolutely. So the first part itself was helped us lay a foundation about you in a way.
Yeah.
Right? कि आपकी परवरिश कैसी रही?
Sure.
Your Baroda days. I can kind of clearly see three parts to you in a way, right? Since you talked about three.
Yes.
There is the
Power of
Baroda, the power of three. There is the Baroda part.
Yes.
There is the New Zealand part, and there is now the Melbourne part.
Correct.
But then you said कि बीच वाला important होता है. So I don't know if you will consider कि New Zealand is important because that's where you met your wife as well.
Yes.
But nonetheless, हम लोग थोड़ा fast forward करके this side of the conversation. I would love to start from the point where you said that you felt that enough is enough. I now need to do something on my own. ये दोनों हो नहीं रहा है, right? In the sense, creative people in a way, you'll feel suffocated when you're in a different environment.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going back to the point of the cool Karnis. That's the essence of what we want to understand here, Shriram, is that how does one passionate person who wants to pursue their passion take that kind of a difficult call? Because it's one thing to pursue your passion over the weekends like I'm doing here. But it's another thing to say that this is what I want to do. ये awakening आना बहुत जरूरी है. और ये awakening आने के बाद उस पे step लेके काम करना और ज्यादा जरूरी है. Because then you could have withdrawal symptoms कि मैंने गलती तो नहीं कर ली. आप पिछले 9 साल से ये कर रहे हो. तो प्लीज ये समझाइए कि how did it start? How did that come to your mind कि मैं अभी पहुंच चुका हूँ इस पीक पे, I have to take this decision and get on this.
So I have reached that point many times in my life. So you asked how do you take a decision? In my case, I've taken it in installments. ऐसा नहीं कि वो पूरा decision एक ही उसमें. All smaller decisions led to that bigger decision.
One,
so I think freed myself up gradually. I freed myself from being an engineer by doing an MBA. Then I freed myself from corporate work and did my own work.
Consulting.
Then I freed myself by doing what I was doing, but doing what I wanted to do. So even when I was running, say, a marketing agency, it was demand-led. It was, okay, dunya wants this. Oh, okay, I will offer this. Did I have core competencies in that? Did I have natural strengths that aligned with that? Not necessarily. So I think I was gradually working myself up to that, and all these experiences led to that point. So क्या होता था कि I would reach a point of immense frustration, and I would feel miserable actually. कि क्या है ये? And then question came, why do I keep finding myself back in this? ये वापस वही dead end आ रहा है. मैं वापस उसी पे आ गया. I thought I had left it. वापस क्यों पहुंच रहा हूँ? So then I was able to identify commonalities. Okay, and it came back to the answer that I gave earlier was, okay, what is your true nature? What is, in my case, I was able to describe, they say it is very hard to describe Swabhava, and it is. But with the help of English language, thoda ek idea mil jata hai. So I was able to come up with 3 or 4 words that described me, for example, creative, spontaneous, expressive. And I found that for me to breathe, I needed to do that. In a waking hours, 16 hours awake, I needed to spend most of that 16 hours doing that. Feeling creative, expressing myself, not suppressing myself, but expressing myself. So all of those led to the thing that why am I denying my natural strengths? Which led to, I felt very inspired. And then my purpose statement was to spread joy and inspiration to all like-minded people.
And what inspired you? Your genuine...
My guru. My guru and the stuff that was around me, Vedanta, all the great masters that God himself had created, all the scriptures had deeply impacted, motivated, inspired me. Again, I use 3 things. But it came naturally, actually. So I wanted to do that to other people. And somehow I wanted to...
share that with
I wanted to be the conduit. It's not like I am some source of inspiration, but I think the ultimate source of inspiration can flow through people.
Channelize through.
Yes. Correct. So if it is going through me, why don't I just divert it in certain directions? Because that gave me great joy. So I know that when I sing, I know that when I write, I know that when I speak, given my interest in theatrical or movies, dramatics, I am good with emotion. And this, I started a sentence with I am good at. I don't know if you've noticed, but I talk like that. This was not there 5 years ago.
Okay.
Right. Because a lot of it was, I am not good at.
Okay.
I would rarely say I am good at. Rarely. This, and I don't want to generalize, but it is very common.
Most of us are like that.
Right? I see it around a lot. And wherever I see it, I jump in. I don't have to send them an invoice for me to talk like that. Right? I jump in and saying, well, what are you good at then? Let's talk about that.
Correct.
And somebody who met me for the first time is a good friend of mine now. He said, hang on, I've heard you now say that 3 times. You start a sentence with I'm very good at. So I think I got comfortable in being me, and I got comfortable acknowledging openly
it's a positive reinforcement.
It's positive reinforcement. Because I have to be my biggest advocate. If I am my biggest critic, I'm surrounded by critics. So the knife sharpening is happening every single second.
Correct.
Why would I do that to myself? And so, we talked about extroversion and introversion. It comes back to that. Spirituality Correct. Is all about introversion, actually.
Correct.
Right? Saying whatever you're seeking, if you want in any object, experience, person, right? It's not from there. They don't have it.
Right.
Like that object does not have happiness. If it makes me happy, it doesn't make you happy, then the logical conclusion is that it can't be inside that.
Correct.
Right? Otherwise, it will make everyone happy.
Sorry, since we are both music and Kishore Da fans, I have to use this. Nasha sharab mein hota to nachti botal.
To nachti botal.
Correct.
Right? So I think that they're all theoretical stuff. But when we immerse ourselves in it, when we are, conscious constantly about divinity around us, I think when we practice it, and I'm very much practicing. Okay, I'm seeking. I'm very much a sadhak. Right? I'm only trying. But you see the benefits of it. So coming back to your question, I found freedom in expressing myself as per my true nature. And why would I not do that? Like it gives me so much, but it came from me. That was the difference. Never before had it come from me. Why did I study engineering? Because engineering karoge, achhi naukri milegi, achhe paise milenge, acha life milega. I want all of that, but not through engineering.
Not through, correct.
Right? I'll chart my own path. I am confident that I can do it. Not because my abilities, yes, but now because of who stands behind me. My guru. My guru and God. What can go wrong? Nothing. I'm doing it with the Sache Manse. They are empowering me. Even the great Hanumanji needed activation of his strengths. Right? He always had it.
Correct.
Right? But he needed a Jambavan. He needed the interaction with Bhagwan Ramchandraji for it to get activated.
Correct. That you can do this.
I mean, I always wonder, going at his full prowess, slight digress, right? At his full prowess, was he more powerful than Wali? I think so.
Who are you referring to?
Hanuman.
Right.
I think he was more powerful than Wali.
Correct.
And then I asked again, what if questions? Might Sugriv have asked himself that after seeing Hanumanji's full things? Was he like, dude, where were you?
Correct.
Like, you are potentially the strongest person I've seen apart from Bhagwan himself.
Correct.
Like, you could have helped me
in
right. Smash Wali.
Correct.
Right? But it was dormant. It needed that touch of divinity
Correct.
from Sri Ramchandraji.
Correct.
It needed a coach like Jambavan to unlock it, go for it.
Correct.
Right? So I think so. That's what I see. I mean, somebody unlocked it for me. I want to unlock it for others.
Wonderful, wonderful. And that really became the seed for you to branch off and say that I want to become a. Which one was that? Speaker you always were, but that's probably the leadership to peak performance.
Yeah. So speaking, coaching very closely intertwined.
Correct.
So my biggest thing right now is coaching people on leadership. But that too, what leadership? Self-leadership. And how is self-leadership defined? Again, I come back to my Guruji. One who leads his or her mind is a leader. Not one who's led by the mind.
Correct.
Then who's in the driver's seat. Right. So be a great self-leader. Then you can lead others. Be it teams, organizations, countries, whatever it is. So I work on that principle. So coaching is what I primarily do. That is how I put food on the table. Also speaking, all that. Right? When I run coaching sessions, workshops, it's like a speaking gig.
Correct. And your coaching ideas are also fairly interesting because you seem to tap on to it's not the traditional like किसी US के professor का किताब के leadership style से, but you're trying to coach or tap into, if I could say, our culture, the Bharatiya culture, Mahabharata, Ramayana के points से आप निकालते हो. How did that start? I mean, you yourself found kind of some interesting leadership lessons there.
So one of my strengths, again, I talk very openly about it.
Correct.
Is that I'm a good observer of life and people, which came to the front when I was writing a lot of fiction, novels. Because I had to create characters, I had to create worlds. I had to get into it, to create a character called Sanjeev Kulkarni. How did he think? Was he left-handed, right-handed? Create a character called Shriram Iyer, so on. So it needed a lot of observation.
This started when you started writing books.
Writing books, correct. Then when I started developing the course, because when I decided, I'm going to speak and I'm going to coach, but I wanted a course. So I pulled all my observations together, heavily informed by Vedanta, which, by the way, has everything. Right?
Of course.
All that we talk today about mindfulness and this and that, it is already there in the Gita.
Correct.
Yeah, everything that we have today is some repackaging of that.
Absolutely.
So I'm not creating anything by that definition.
And if you look at our Upanishads or they all kind of sound like such strong case studies.
Yes.
Right? Even when we do our Satyanarayana Puja, when they talk of the Katha, there's nothing but case studies.
Yes. 5 case studies.
5 case studies.
Yes. Very true. Very, very true. And in fact, if we...
in fact, it's only 4 case studies. After the thing, I'll talk about it, but divided into 5
correct.
chapters.
Correct. So I think if we have that case study, is a nice word you used. If you have that case study mentality, it's all there for us.
Correct.
We don't need to think, actually. It's all there for us, ready-made. We just have to be across the case studies and apply it.
Correct.
So, but coming back to the course, but because I had done MBA, and like you, I had a slightly, Western leadership frameworks, Western management frameworks, Western psychology, even though I'm not trained in psychology and I never will be.
Correct.
But my wife seems to say I have a gift for psychology, which again, she's like, why are your characters doing that in the book? How did you figure that out? I'm like, I don't know. I just thought through it. And she's like, wow, that's actually some psychological intuition there. So I had all that. Those frameworks also I had studied. And then I'm like, hang on, this Vedanta meets Western psychology really well. So I had that East meets West appetite
going on.
And that's what is underpinning my course. Some might see it, some might not see it. But for example, my Mahabharata and Ramayana course talks about universal themes like focus, patience, persuasion, learning mindset. Right? When does a leader stop learning? When they get the role? A lot of them will be like, now I'm CEO, I can finally stop learning. I don't think so.
Never stops.
Never stops, right? But when you have that position, when you achieve that greatness, are you true enough to yourself to say that, boss, in fact, the learning starts now? Can you say that to yourself?
Correct.
Because those in these epics, those great people in these epics never stop learning.
Correct.
You know, someone like an Arjuna kept developing. He was already ahead of the pack. He would look behind and there'll be nobody.
Correct.
Right?
But
he wanted to be the best version of himself. He in fact didn't know what the best version of himself looked like.
Correct.
And that is the perfect mindset.
Yeah.
Like, where is it?
What is the best thing you do? It's coming tomorrow, kind of.
It is coming tomorrow.
Right.
Exactly. It's that. So for me, those epics and shastras, scriptures, I'm not an expert. All I know about the Upanishads is through the gurus. I don't think I'm qualified enough to even read an Upanishad directly. I'm not, at least. And even for the Gita, we need gurus to explain it, like Swami Chinmayananda, who is translated in English, and reading that helps. Like someone like me who doesn't purely understand Sanskrit. Like imagine if I were just to read the 700 verses, I wouldn't get anything.
Correct.
But I needed someone like a Gurudev, and his story itself is very inspiring.
Of course.
So he was an atheist and then he started the Chinmay mission.
Is that right?
That is true. Yeah. He had that spirit of inquiry, which is what I think people get misled a lot. They think, oh, it is, you're expected to just be told something and you believe it. No, you don't. Right? You have the right to
get
question
convinced yourself first.
Correct.
Right.
But it is the attitude with which you question. If you are questioning it purely from a cynical perspective where you dismiss everything, but you don't give it a chance, then that's a problem. So that's what led to my course. And I must say that like when I create a song or anything, I cannot take credit for it. I think it is created by divinity. For some reason, the instrument
you became
is
the channel. Correct.
I became the channel. Even the course is like that. I think so for example, my supercar course has 7 pillars. We talk about self-love, self-talk. We talk about belief. We talk about a concept called in your element, which is similar to the Ikigai concept that is popular and things. Very similar to that. But again, I put my spin to it. And they're all based in scriptures.
How long does it take for you to come up with a course like this?
Answer varies. But once I put my head down, I think the entire structure of the course, a 12-week course, I can put together in about 3 or 4 days. Right? And then, of course, each block needs to be filled up. But I'm now, because of my writing in novels, because of their big projects, I'm very comfortable doing big projects.
Okay. You're able to compartmentalize things.
I'm not daunted by it, going, oh my God, I have to do this. I have to write 80,000 words. I'm like, I can do it. So, I love the stage and I love an audience. When somebody I met for once, he figured out very quickly that you need an audience. That's what I am. I need an audience. And I want to tell a story. So I constantly now just go towards that. What excuse can I do to get into that position?
Wonderful. And how many courses do you have like this?
So primarily I have 2 courses, 2 leadership courses, and they are taken by various clients. But now I'm starting to open it out to the public. So the leadership course, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, is now available online on a platform, and anyone can sign up for it. It's a $198 course. And 12 weeks, you can do it yourself. I'm also starting to provide 1 hour of free coaching as part of the package. The supercar course will follow.
Okay.
And then a number of courses I will do, because I answered your question too quickly. I have more than 2 courses because I also have a public speaking course.
Right.
I have a course on SWOT analysis, individualized SWOT analysis, not company SWOT analysis. So I'm big on that. What is Sanjeev's SWOT analysis? What is Shriram's SWOT analysis? So I think the SWOT is a very fascinating word.
Absolutely.
So, I often ask in my SWOT workshops going, what should we start with? And people say strengths. And I think that's a common place, and it's not a wrong answer. But I think even more right answer is to start with opportunities, because nobody can achieve anything without opportunities.
Correct.
What are opportunities?
That's a driver. What
are opportunities? Gifts given by the universe, by God.
Correct.
And that is where gratitude comes in. If you're grateful for the opportunity, it fills you up.
It's interesting that you mentioned about SWOT. I don't know how many times we would have done it in our corporate life. How many times it would have crossed your mind that you need to do it yourself.
Yeah.
But sometimes you feel that you can't do it on yourself.
Yeah.
You need some coach. You need it with someone.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
But it's not like you can't do it yourself. It helps to have facilitation. Like for me to come to the conclusion that I needed to do this for my career, I kind of came to it many times. But it needed to be facilitated by a powerful guru for me to say, yes, I am doing
that. Becomes the
so facilitation, mentorship, and outside view is very important. Because when you're inside, you don't see everything. Right?
True.
Yeah.
Awesome. Still kind of reeling under the fact that you were able to take a decision of that nature. But then that is this side of it, where you're talking of the speaker plus the leadership coach. In fact, I have one question and then I'll move to the next one.
Yeah.
When you talk of performing at peak, one thing that runs in my mind is everybody has a different peak, right? How does one get to know that this job requires this kind of peak and maybe I'm not for it? I need to go for a job which is something else because my peak can only go till there. Sometimes you feel trapped. You always feel that, I'm probably not up to the mark here.
Yeah.
I have to do this because I'm in this position, but I'm not able to get to here. That's how you tire yourself out.
Yeah.
How do you find out that, my peak is not here, my peak is somewhere else? Let me go to a job where my peak is.
Yeah.
I'm showing it up and down only for a reason, but doesn't have to be that.
Yeah. So I think there's the part of the answer was there in your question itself. See, the signs come. So if there is lack of fulfillment, if you are somebody who's checking your CV more than doing your job, right? If you're talking about 9-to-5 job situation, then for those who are unfulfilled, they will know it very quickly. So in my case, I asked myself, why am I doing this job? Money. It's not like they were paying me millions, right? So yes, they're paying me money. It is helping me fund my current lifestyle.
Correct.
When I say lifestyle, I'm not roaming around in Ferraris and all. So just whatever, have my house, my kids' education, this, that. Apart from that, they are not like giving me some Kubera's, khazana, right? They're not. Apart from that, what? Nothing else. I could not come up with anything else. Why am I doing this?
Correct.
I found the desperate need. Okay, apart from money, I need one more reason. Whatever that is. I need one more thing. Because just money, and that too, it's not like they're paying me 5 million a year. If they were paying me 5 million a year, I would be happy with it. I would say money, and it's great. Right?
कर लेता हूँ, चाहे कुछ भी हो.
हाँ, वहाँ पे शायद मैं अपने soul को बेच दूँ, क्योंकि what do you price your soul at? Maybe at $5 million. चलो, रख लो.
Correct.
But not at, which is a good salary, right? What I was drawing, but it was not at that price.
Correct.
So I was like, my soul is more precious to me. I am not allowing myself, because see, I'll tell you what, in my case, it destroyed self-esteem. I did not feel good about myself.
Correct.
I even hated myself. Right? How am I going to be a good friend, a good husband, a good father, a good person to myself when I'm feeling like that?
Correct.
When I'm feeling terrible, how am I going to perform? What am I going to do with whatever $200,000 worth of money? What am I going to do with it?
Correct.
So I did not want to be, but look, all this philosophy, even Shah Rukh Khan says you can do philosophy when you're rich.
Correct.
So, but when people are in survival mode, when it is, I have to
then
put
all
food
this
on the
doesn't
table,
matter.
then it's very difficult.
Correct.
I agree. So in my case, at least there is a calculation behind it. Okay, now we take that chance. Because if I delay it, then I think there's going to be more hurt. So it's logical. I told my wife there'll be 4 months of nothing from me. There was nothing. And then his grace came through. Because one of my clients, who was my marketing client, and I said, see you later, I'm not serving any of you. He said, what are you going to do? So I explained. He said, I actually don't understand what you are doing. I don't understand it. But I will be your first client. That's all he said.
That's so nice.
That day I left. Even now, just saying it fills my heart with gratitude. Right? I don't think he himself realized what he said.
Correct.
So I was like, chalo, bhuke to nahi marenge. Right? At least I won't have 0 clients.
Correct.
And that is purely God's grace. If you have the vision to see it and appreciate God's grace and be grateful for it, I think it's a blessing. Right? I fully connected to Krishna's grace.
Correct.
Right? So wahan se, I built it. I'm building it. I'm still building it. Building the business. But I know that another 5 years later, I will applaud that decision that I made 3 years ago. Going bang on, best decision ever, wish I'd made it earlier.
Fantastic. And this happened 5 years ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And until then, you were in some form of a corporate?
No, corporate stopped for me some good 8 years ago.
Okay.
So I started my own marketing business. I've been running my own business for a while. But it was what I was offering to the world.
That is what.
For example, let's do Facebook ads. Is the world ready to pay for Facebook ads? Yes. Was I the right person to offer Facebook ads? No, I couldn't care less about it. It did not light any fire within me. It did not excite me at all.
But your own marketing background, has it helped you in a way where you're using that on yourself now?
Yes.
Saying this is how I market myself?
Yes and no. So, see, with marketing, my strengths were more in the strategic marketing. And I realized it later that I'm more of a marketing thinker rather than a marketing doer. There's a difference. So, for the doing, I outsource. I don't do it myself.
Correct.
Apart from time. I'll give it to somebody else who's better at it than I am.
Correct.
The thinking part, I'm very comfortable with. Some of it I do it myself. Some I engage people. But I'm because I'm marketing literate. I can have that conversation. When someone says lead magnet or when someone says whatever term they use, I understand it.
Correct.
Because I was doing that.
You do, correct.
But I'm not made for marketing. I'm not a marketer. I have a marketing background. I have marketing knowledge. But I think right now what I'm doing is what I was meant to do.
And that's when you realize that you're a singing speaker.
And also music, right? You mentioned music. Music is also the other part of it. I cannot live without music.
Because we paused it there. There are many things that have happened after that for you.
There are many things that have happened. So Melbourne took off. I had a fantastic collaboration I still have with my dear friend and music collaborator who lives in the area, Bobby Bhaskaran, Bobby Bebop. He's a wonderful artist, good friend of mine. Yeah.
Okay.
We went to the Grammys together. So he and I collaborated. We created an album in 2022. A long gap between my first album and second album.
First album was what Shankar ji did in 15 years, and then you
But beach mein we've done lots of singles.
Because with the romantic singles and all, you used to
correct. So I would release something, but this full-fledged album we did in 22. I mean, technically it's called an EP, but we call it an album.
What is an EP?
EP is a shorter album, extended play. So it's about 6 songs. And album is supposed to be 8-9 songs.
अच्छा ऐसा भी कुछ definition है.
ऐसा भी है. मेरे को भी तभी पता चला. तो हमने रिलीज किया. ग्रैमी के डेफिनेशन में वो एल्बम बनता है. तो मेरे फादर ने ऐसे ही बोला कि why don't you submit to the Grammys? Now this is the thinking big thing, right? Which my Guru Swami Swarupananda is very big on. बड़ा सोचने से, his words, thinking big thinking inspires big action. Right? So my father said Grammys. I said क्या बोल रहे हो आप? Grammys छोटा सा एल्बम, Grammys में थोड़ी कैसे जाएगा? He said क्यों नहीं जाएगा? So I said
उनको कहाँ से ख्याल आया Grammys?
पता नहीं. Then I said कि ऐसे थोड़ी होता. How does it work? I don't know how it works. So he says if you don't know how it works, how can you say that
you cannot work?
So I said fair point. So he said चलो you're busy. So we'll talk later. ऐसे करके बोले. Then he came back armed with full the information. ये है डेट, ये है वगैरह वगैरह. मैं बोला अरे बाप रे. बट एक बहुत बड़ी अड़चन थी उसमें. Say the thing with the Grammys is कि you can only submit work. दो तरीके हैं. You can submit work if you're a media agency, or you can submit work if you're a voting member.
Okay.
I was not a voting member in 2022. So then I did something, and it's a bit creative out of the box. It doesn't always work. So I reached out to some voting members, and I did a podcast with them. I wanted to establish a rapport with them. And one very kind-hearted person, again, Krishna's grace shining through these people who suddenly come up somewhere. And that's how it works. You think big, things just fall into place.
Correct.
You might not know how, but ho jata hai. And she very kindly offered to feature our album as part of her submission. So that is how we first entered the Grammy.
So she also had a submission, and she said, I have a part 2 of my submission.
Not part 2. This is just a submission on their behalf. I'm submitting.
Acha. She did not have any submission, so she said, "Chalo."
She had her own, but you can do like that.
Do multiple.
Okay. So she submitted on our behalf, basically. We were like, wow, okay, so we were on the ballot.
ऐसा भी होता है.
ऐसा भी होता है. Then I realized कि वो sustainable तो है नहीं, so we'll have to become a voting member. So again, thinking big, उसमें कुछ it's not easy. It's not tough, but it's not easy.
What's the meaning of that voting member?
Voting member is given to professional musicians by the Recording Academy, which runs the Grammys, which allows you to vote and have a say in the nominations.
Okay. In the nominations itself?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many voting members. And it allows you to submit music. So two things, two benefits.
So you have to be, like you said, you either have to be an artist yourself or you need to be a music agency.
Correct. But to become a voting member, first step to apply, you have to apply.
And how many voting members are there?
Lots, thousands. Over the years, because इतने सालों से चल रहा है वो.
And एक बार मिल गया तो मिल गया.
एक बार मिल गया तो मिल गया.
Acha.
Then you get, unless you
Decide to relinquish it.
and do something that is
And what do you have to do to keep it?
Just every year, you just have to tell them that, yeah,
You're there. As an you have to keep regularly releasing some music or something.
No, ऐसा नहीं है. That you have to do to get in first.
Fair
You need certain number of credits and all of that. But उसके पहले भी वो step है कि you need strong recommendations from 2 musical peers. Only then they even allow you to apply. तो उसी step में लोग
रह जाते हैं.
So the official term is voting member. You have to be a voting member to submit work without relying on other sort of.
And you needed 2 people to support you for that, to establish
to apply.
To apply
to hand up.
Correct.
Then anyway, so in 2023, the voting membership came through. So I mean, the very first step for applying, so it's applying to apply, is that you need to get 2 recommendations, strong recommendations from musical peers who the Recording Academy recognizes.
Okay.
So anyway, so that happened, then the application happened, then so part of it is that you should have certain number of credits in a certain time period and things like that. So anyway, so I got accepted as a voting member. Now, I didn't know at that time, but I looked around. I'm like, और कौन है? ऑस्ट्रेलिया में. पहली बात तो ऑस्ट्रेलियन वोटिंग मेंबर्स ही कम है. उसमें इंडियन ऑस्ट्रेलियंस कोई नहीं. कोई भी नहीं था.
So literally you are the first now.
Yes. And for some time, the only I was.
Amazing.
Right. Then next year, Bobby also got inducted as a voting member, and somebody else also. So now there is, from my knowledge, it's 3 of us, 3 Indian Australians who are voting members of the Recording Academy.
Okay.
And this year, both Bobby and I got an invite from the Recording Academy to come and attend.
क्या बात है?
Yeah. So we were like, why not?
So obviously, ये भी सबको नहीं मिल रही. There are thousands, but not everybody is being invited to be part of the Grammy Award.
Also I think, yes, from what I understand. So we were like, okay, excellent. So we planned to go. We went, and it was one of the greatest experiences I've had. Like, meeting so many musicians and people who have become online friends over the years, because you interact with each other a lot.
Correct.
And you run what is known as a for your consideration campaign. That basically says you are in consideration for nomination.
Acha, okay.
Right? So you run that, to your voting member peers. Then I went and got to meet them, and they received me so warmly. It is beautiful, yeah. The power of music. Strangers, well, not strangers,
different parts of the world,
but people who hadn't met, right? Like connecting, as if long lost brothers. Very nice. So now we're working on an album, and we are hoping to collaborate with a lot of Grammy winners. So me and Bobby and I, we're going to do it. So we are doing it together, and then hopefully we'll add some other names to it. Some maybe guest artists. That's the plan anyway. But it's a race against time. It's a massive.
But is there have you uncovered certain things that actually work, or rather something that don't work, so that you avoid that? ऐसे कुछ पता चला है कि you do these 10 things and this will enhance your chance.
As is the case with anything, there is no formula.
Acha.
If there was one, everyone would do it.
Everyone would have done it.
So, but you learn some do's and don'ts and how to be better and so on. But I think we're now just excited at the real prospect of collaborating with a few great musicians, of course, but people who are well known in the Grammy community.
And pardon my ignorance, completely out of syllabus type hai mere liye.
Yeah, that's right.
But what gets nominated in a Grammy? Is it a single or is it an album?
There are many categories.
Acha.
So right now we are going to submit our work in a category called Best New Age Music, Best New Age Ambient and Chant Music.
Ambient and chant.
So all the chant music, mantra music goes into that, right? So for the first time, I'm going to compete in that category.
Acha. And last time you had competed?
Last 3 years. So I completed a hat trick of being on the Grammy ballot. And last 3 years, I've been playing in what is known as the Best Global Music category.
Acha.
So some category have, like for example, there's Best Global Music Album. You submit your album. There's another cousin category of that is Best Global Music Performance. Performance means you can submit one track, which is not part of it.
Solo
usually.
types,
So that is also a category I took part in. So I think last year I submitted 2 entries. Both were in the race. And fun thing is, I'm not sure if I'm fully allowed to say this, but it's okay. I think, is that when you see who are all on that list, you're like, wow.
Just an honor to be on that list, sometimes.
Yeah, because right near me, 2 or 3 names was Mozart of Madras, right? I was in the same category, in the same list as A.R. Rahman and L. Subramaniam and Krishna Das, right? Neem Karli Baba's, Aman Ali Bangash, and
Wow.
And then you realize, wow, you're not in the same league. Of course you're not. But you're playing in the same
correct
thing right now. I mean, obviously the Anushka Shankar, right? And these are just Indian names I'm saying.
Correct.
Like when you then look at the global phenomenons that are on that,
correct,
African artists, this, that, and you're like, wow. Like I don't even remember the whole list. In 23, I was gobsmacked with the people who were on the ballot with me. Like, so
thanks to your dad.
Thanks to my dad. So the thing is, of course, last 3 years, every November when the Grammy nominations are released, I'm one of the few people from this part of the world who stays up, fingers crossed. Hasn't heard his name yet, but I'm working on it.
But one day,
hopefully sooner rather than later. Hopefully this year.
That's one of the goals that you're now aspiring.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'd love to win a Grammy.
And
that goal actually intensified after going to the Grammys. And it felt more real.
Correct.
Because there are 2 ceremonies. There are 94 categories. So one, the evening ceremony that gets telecast. That is the CBS telecast thing. There, Beyonce came and Taylor Swift. So we were in the same room. Same room is probably the wrong word. Same stadium. And somebody asked me, did you rub shoulders with Taylor Swift? And I said, she was many shoulders away from me. But yes, we could see her. She was there, and Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, all that. Spectacular. But then the other categories happen at a slightly smaller theater, just 1 hour before the main telecast.
Acha. Okay. And there, these big names obviously are not coming.
Some of them come. So John Legend was sitting just in front of us, and so on and so forth. A lot of other people. But the Beyoncés don't come.
Acha.
So I forgot what I was trying to say here.
No, I think we were talking about these categories happen in the smaller stadium, and those are also the number of categories. So 94 categories are there.
Yeah.
So it's in a way there is a skill in terms of choosing which category you want to present yourself.
Yeah,
to maximize
you are only
your
eligible in certain. So I cannot enter African or American American roots because my music is not that genre.
Achha.
So what happens is when
you can make music that genre.
You can make music that genre, but I'm not known for that.
Right.
So, so if I were to, what the Academy does very well is they reshuffle. If something doesn't fit, they go through every entry.
Oh.
If something doesn't reshuffle, if something doesn't fit, they reshuffle it, and they let you know. By the way, now you're in this category.
Achha.
So you can't just go in any category.
So did they suggest that you're now in this category of chant or something, or you thought
chant,
that you can make that?
I've never been in that category, but this year we're developing a mantra album.
Absolutely,
so that fits in.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that fits in. So we're all beautiful mantras that we know: Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Rama Rama Rameti from Vishnu Sahasranamam, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then Guru Deva, all that Guru mantras. So we've got about 8 tracks, and ending with Kayena Vacha and Peace, Om Shanti. So we're excited. We're looking forward to it, and it'll be a new experience. But I think I'd like to believe that there is a chance it'll do well.
All the very best to you. All the very best to that journey, and that's also something that will keep continuing. That goal to you already have. That's up there, like you said. The goal has to be there. Book. You're an author. How did that journey start, and what is the goal you have there?
So I'll tell you what, after this whole purpose, when I wrote the purpose, right, what is purpose? Purpose is your main thing that you want to do in life. Other things can come inside it. So it's like an umbrella. So what my guru said is, there are many goals that can help fulfill the same purpose. Right? So whatever I'm doing, writing, singing, cooking, playing badminton, I'm trying to spread joy and inspiration. My terrible dad jokes, I'm trying to spread joy.
Achha, you're also good at that.
I'm very good at dad jokes. Now, I don't know if that's a strength or a weakness. Somebody said that. Is that a strength or a weakness?
No, if you're saying it has to be a strength only.
So, some of my friends, they have some massive reactions to dad jokes, but I enjoy them.
बाद में एक सुना भी देना, याद है.
हाँ, वो impromptu ऐसे आ जाता है. So,
but what you're saying
coming back to novels and all of this, so I realized a common thread. So I started looking for commonality. When you don't look for commonality, then they conflict. oh, my singing is competing against my writing. They're not actually competing. They're not actually, because the common thread is storytelling. So right now I've told you a few stories, right? When I write a song, I'm telling a story. When I obviously write a novel, I'm telling a story. When I'm speaking, I'm telling a story. When I'm coaching, I'm telling a story. So it's all storytelling in different forms. When I'm writing a poem, I'm telling a story.
Telling a story.
Right? So I found that actually it's not too many things. It's only one thing.
Telling a story.
That's it. Different forms. That's all. So I think that allows me to not look at it from a point of conflict. So it came from the fact that as a child, I'd be like, what if this happened? What if that happened? Random things like, what if one day we woke up and all the money in the world had disappeared?
Okay.
What if we woke up and all the weapons in this world had disappeared?
We wish
Then
we'd be in that
would there be
situation.
peace?
Yeah.
I think there won't be peace.
There won't be peace.
Because it's just the way our human minds work. But anyway, so those kind of random what if questions. So I went for a walk with my wife and I said, what if a sibling loves another sibling so much that he or she gives up what you would think impossible, like ultimate sacrifice? Because it warms my heart when I think of all these things. So she heard the concept a bit more, and then she said, write a book. So I wrote a book. Listen to my wife.
Good one.
And I wrote a book. It took me 4 years to write Wings of Silence.
When was this time frame wise?
2008. Very funny thing you ask. So I started writing the first word in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, watching Usain Bolt smash the 100 meters. Right? That's where the seed was planted, and that's where I wrote my first words. I kid you not. Book was released in 2012 London Olympics.
Okay.
The book is about the 1980 Moscow Olympics.
Oh, wow.
So now we're hoping that the film comes in time for the 2028 Los Angeles
Olympics. And you're working on a film script
it's
for it?
not close. It's just my wish. It's just my...
Make sure you talk to Akshay Kumar. He will...
Yeah, I'll give Akshay a call.
Yeah, give Akshay a call. Because he will definitely want to feature in and as...
As a 20-year-old boy.
Correct. Absolutely.
So, yes. So, it's just... But that's the funny thing about that book. And then after that, of course, what happens is once you open certain doors, things flood in. Then you see stories everywhere. Every little interaction, you're like, wow, hang on.
story bन सकता है.
ये भी story बन सकता है. So, which became a problem because at one point I was submerged in ideas. Like I didn't know what to do with them. Then I had to say, bhai, फाटक लगाओ वापस, lock करो and let it in selectively. Otherwise, it's...
But then, अच्छा, फाटक लगाओ दिमाग का. But then what I'm saying is, जो ideas है, उसको आप compartmentalize कैसे करते हो? I mean, are you noting them down somewhere and let it germinate? कि एक साथ सब कुछ चलते रहता है दिमाग में?
So, at some point I write them down. And at some point has to be when someone tells me, send it to me. Then I have to write it down.
Achha.
Send me a 2-pager, send me a 3-pager, flesh out a full longer synopsis, send me a full treatment, write a screenplay, so on and so forth. So, at that time I'm forced to write it. But a lot of times these ideas stay in my mind.
But जब आपके माइंड में है तब तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बट जब आप ऐसे 2 पेजर या किसी को भेजते हो, in this world, how do you own the IP of that? Are you able to even say that this is my idea?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah. You can.
Achha.
But anyone can do anything to anything. इतना तो है. अभी देखो, I was watching YouTube पे, they were showing something with, what is that actor's name? I forgot his name.
Ram Kapoor.
I think you know the show I'm talking about.
No.
I forgot the name of the show. But it was very clearly an adaptation of Monk, the detective series that we used to watch. And I'm like, hang on, it's dekha hua hai. And then I saw comments saying, this is from Monk.
This is Monk.
And then I put a comment saying, have they even credited it as a source? And then someone said, you're expecting too much from Bollywood. So, Monk, which is a credible thing.
Correct.
I mean, it was there.
उसको ही plagiarize कर दिया.
उसको ही कर दिया.
हम तो कुछ नहीं है.
But are there safety mechanisms in place? Yes. If you go to a court of law, and that is a big if. कौन जाएगा court?
Correct.
But if you do, there are mechanisms. I am supported by an exceedingly clever lawyer in Mumbai who looks after my copyright things very thoroughly. So I have taken measures.
Achha.
But you can never take enough measures is my point. Like, करना है तो करेंगे लोग. So my novels are copyrighted as is because they're novels.
Of course, they're a novel.
They're a novel.
Once it becomes a novel, that's
once you put an idea on paper, you have copyright.
Acha.
You have copyright.
Okay.
But to safeguard, one of my scripts is copyrighted by the government of India.
Okay.
Then I realized that you can also copyright or go through what is. So I'm a member of Screenwriters Association, SWA, Mumbai. So I have a membership card and all that.
Just amazing. So
member of
one more.
No, but you had to do that to safeguard your scripts.
Correct.
So when I send my scripts to someone, I first put that under the SWA and then I send it to them. So it has if I don't, for example, recently I sent something, so I just watermark it. And ऐसे भी if somebody runs with it and they make it, चलो it's a big compliment to me. Whether they credit me or
uncredited, but
uncredited मेरे को भी अच्छा लगेगा भाई मेरा idea इतना अच्छा था कि किसी ने बना दिया.
Correct.
I don't mind that. I'm not that protective about my ideas because I know कि I'm never going to be short of them.
आते रहेंगे आप.
आते रहेंगे.
Correct.
It's how much I control it.
Wonderful. That thought just came to me because sometimes when you say that you have sent it out in that too in a form that it is not completely where you say that now it's mine.
Yeah.
तब तो just a thought आया कि people could just work with it.
Very fair point. See, the people I will send it to, I trust them.
Correct.
But it's when it leaves them.
Correct.
That's when the problem starts. Because I don't know where it's gone.
Once it's out of your inbox, then you don't know what is happening.
कहाँ गया किन ने देखा है. So, I mean, somebody came very close to adapting the rights for Wings of Silence. And it was not a deal I was happy with. Very tough to say no to that.
Correct.
Because people have signed similar contracts and their works have been made. And of course, I've looked at it and going, how can you sign that? Yeah. My lawyer said no. So I took his advice. I don't regret it. Part of me is like, शायद बन जाता
तो हाँ correct.
लेकिन मेरा नहीं होता because I was relinquishing so much.
अच्छा. So they just wanted to make too many changes to it, and
I don't mind changes also. I'm not that arrogant about my work or anything like that. Core has to stay. Like even when I published the book, the publishers wanted a whole heap of changes. And when I published my first book, I had no bargaining power. But I did not let anyone touch the core.
अच्छा.
The core was same. अब बाजू में आपको बदलना है.
हाँ, जैसे बदलना है बदल लो. Correct.
Right.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So that book writing journey started as the first one. 4 years में आपने एक book लिखा.
3 साल में.
And how much has it been after that? How many books have you?
2 novels published.
2 novels
published.
Wonderful.
2 unpublished. And several other ideas. Then one day what happened was a good friend of mine and we sat down. Probably shouldn't have done this exercise. And he worked out my hourly rate. And then we both like, Bash! Itna.
You mean how much the novel has made? Is that what?
Right. And it was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think it was less than $1. So, because India and all, right? India convert and all that. And I'm not one of those super gifted novelists.
It's released in India in a way, majorly.
So both my novels were published by traditional publishers. So not self-published. They were published by, at that time, India's biggest publishers. Westland. Westland Books published my first books, which publishes Amish Tripathi, Ashwin Sanghi.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Now Chetan Bhagat. Right? So, but, long story. I was a nobody. I was just a little author. Correct. They had big superstars and you understand how it works.
Correct.
And then second one is published by Fingerprint Fiction, which is an imprint of Prakash Books. Excellent publisher, very supportive. They have excellent feedback. So I was very happy with the process. But then this exercise, I'm like, actually, what am I getting back? So one is financial, then emotional. And whilst both books did well, actually, if I tell you numbers, you'll be like, wow, actually, that's pretty good. But somewhere I was like, I wanted more reach. Not for bestseller status, but for sharing my work.
Correct.
Because I believed in both those stories.
But then, sorry, just a random question because you're probably done so much at that space.
Yeah.
Is such long form storytelling still alive in the world of 2-minute reels?
Yes,
it is.
Look at what we're doing right now.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think it is relevant. I think people listen to meaningful long form content, whether it's in the form of podcasts or movies. Movies are still there.
Correct.
You know, Amir Khan, Sitare Zameen Par is not a 5-minute movie, right?
Correct.
And these movies, because they take a long time to tell the story, that is why they have the impact. The character development, your investment with the characters, so on and so forth. So I think long-form content is there, but it has to be meaningful, it has to be relevant. They're both coexisting. We are smashing the reels out and we are consuming them. We are also consuming great. Like I there's a movie called Thug Life.
Correct.
That just came out. I
Never
haven't seen
seen
it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed a longer review of that,
Hmm.
a lot more than a 5-minute review by somebody else.
Because you went into the depth instead of
wanted
just
depth.
trying to correct.
So when you are seeking depth, long form content is the answer.
Correct.
When you are seeking sort of
Instant.
surface level,
Ah.
instant.
You'll get a lot of success or a lot of hits or views with that 2-minute one.
Yeah.
But the long form, whoever is consuming that will be your true audience. In a
Yes.
way.
So there was a short reel by Swami Chinmayananda.
Hmm.
I listened to that some 10, 20 times.
Hmm.
I just replayed in the car again. I ended up hearing a 5-minute reel or a 3-minute reel some 10, 15 times. So I ended up listening to it for 45 minutes.
Correct.
But because the points there were just so brilliant,
That it had to stick in.
It had to stick in.
Correct.
3-4 minutes wouldn't have done justice. You know. So I think there is room for long form content. I'm a believer of that.
Okay. So the point I'm also trying to get at is that you're kind of so very well mastering this extreme where you're talking about long form content, where you're writing contents, novels, but at the same time you're doing these singles which are 2-3 minutes, which is immediately attracting the people's imagination. So अब दोनों ही balance कर पा रहे हो. Creative तो दोनों ही है. There is enough and more effort that goes in both. 3 मिनट का वीडियो भी कोई 3 मिनट में बनता नहीं है, right? So there is enough effort that goes at the back of both. ये आपके दिमाग में कैसे बैलेंस होता है? What does a day in the life of Shriram Iyer look like, where you are able to do all these things?
So I have downplayed it, and that's what I need to do. So sometimes when I think, oh my God, how many things am I going to do? And that time I'm exaggerating my own importance. Because if I look around me, if I look at a Sanjeev Kulkarni or anyone, they all do multiple things every day, right? Maybe it is in the same area, right? Even in, let's say, Arjuna, focused archery, but he also has to shoot arrow after arrow. No? You can't shoot one arrow and say, "Ho gaya kaam."
Oh yeah,
right? So in some cases, somebody might shoot an arrow, then they might throw a bhala, then they might hit a mace. Ho sakta hai.
Correct.
So multiple things we are doing. So even when I was at work, for example, I would work on multiple projects, 4, 5, 6 projects. So mental folders काफी हैं. You every day you rock up and you do your things to do. There'll be 6, 7 things. ये करना, ये करना, ये करना, ये करना, ये करना.
अच्छा, अभी भी वैसे ही होता है.
अभी भी
Calendarize your activities.
Or whatever things to do बनाओ या calendarize बनाओ. सिर्फ department थोड़ा बदलता है. Like these few clients have to do this. I have to do this to promote the course. Oh, I have to do this on the album, and I have to so it's just like that. The shifts are dramatic. I agree. Right? Suddenly you are doing a coaching session and then you're thinking about a song.
Correct.
But I keep telling myself that it's all under the same umbrella. Utna bhi different nahi hai.
Like you're telling a story.
Correct. And then we're talking about versatile people like Kishore Kumar. Right? He could do so many things. But they were all under the umbrella of cinema, no?
Correct.
He was not a motivational speaker.
Correct.
He was not a Iron Smith. He didn't run a podcast.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like it's all under that umbrella. So
Correct.
it integrates. So I mean, Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta in particular, it talks a lot about oneness, about integration. And my Guruji also talks about integrating heart and head. So when you see things as one, then there is no conflict. So I try.
You try.
I try to see it as one Shriram doing everything.
Doing various things.
Not Shriram the singer, Shriram the this, Shriram the that. Then that causes problems.
Fair enough. No, but I appreciate how you have explained it. But still, there is this thought that comes to me that itne sare varied. You might have that storytelling theme in a way, but it's kind of creatively you're expressing different things in different areas. So are you like, for example, okay, maybe I'll take this with an example, right? So Sudha Murthy ji was saying that when she takes to writing a book, she'll just lock herself for some 3-4 weeks and she'll be done. Uske baad jo thoda kaat-shaat hona, editing hona, maybe her team will do it or whatever it is. But she will lock herself for that time frame and she finishes. I'd heard Javed Akhtar ji saying the same thing once, like he'll lock himself somewhere. तो आपका वैसा नहीं है. यू आर एबल टू कंपार्टमेंटलाइज एंड से कि मैं गाना बना रहा हूँ, आज इतना बनाया, उसके बाद बुक के ऊपर काम किया, और यू से कि मैं ये 4 दिन मेरा सिर्फ गाने पे जाएगा, बाकी जो मैं कर रहा हूँ वो अलग बात है.
तो अभी गाना बन रहा है, एनीवे आज अभी बन रहा है.
करेक्ट.
बट वो ऐसा नहीं है, बिकॉज़ आई एम डिपेंडिंग ऑन अदर पीपल ऑल्सो. वो 4 घंटे में नहीं बन सकता है, राइट? इवन इफ आई पोर थ्रू. सो माय अप्रोच हैज बीन touch this, so more breadth. And somewhere I know that I am likely to change that approach. So somewhere I'm going towards this Javed Akhtar approach or Sudha Murthy approach of pure depth. Because again, Swami Chinmayananda said कि you dig multiple places, you won't find oil or whatever it is. एक जगह पे हर जगह पे 10 मीटर खुदोगे तो नहीं मिलेगा. एक जगह पे 40 मीटर खुदोगे तो शायद मिल सकता है.
Correct.
So yes, there is merit to that, and that has been a challenge for me. It has been a time management challenge. It's also caused a lot of frustration. Because at some point you like it just gets too much. Then you have a meltdown. Then you sort of work your way through it.
Correct.
And then you apply what you know, and people support you. But I am moving towards depth. That is there.
Getting in.
But I'm moving very slowly towards depth. I think specialization is required. I think people want to know you for one thing. I think that is there. So those who, I think somewhere versatility can be an issue. It can be an issue.
You were mentioning that earlier.
Correct. So even in music, a lot of my well-wishers, like I sing only 2 genres. But for a lot of people, that's too versatile. Like pop, Bollywood pop, right? My songs ko aap jod do usme. And then devotional spiritual music. That's one too many genres.
क्या बात कर?
For a lot of people. A lot of well-wishers, they say, choose one. My wife says, choose one.
अच्छा.
A lot of well-wishers say, go just the spiritual path. Just do spiritual music.
अच्छा.
I don't mind it, but sometimes you're a bit too attached. Like I grew up on Bollywood, right?
Correct.
I don't want to let it go. Not yet. So I have paid the price for breadth and not going for depth. I've paid the price for that. But I also take that as a learning. And I'm gradually at my own pace moving towards depth.
Yep. Achha.
So, yeah. What do you?
You're figuring out where the depth is, or you have it sorted in terms of what you want to choose as that depth?
I'll also be guided by some outcomes, right? So I think if certain things take off, then I'll go in that path.
Correct.
Yeah. So I have a plan. I have a plan that will hopefully allow me to devote time to certain projects. And so that's a longer plan. That's a longer 5-year plan. But right now, I think I am exactly where I need to be.
Beautiful.
So I don't wish I was somewhere else. I'm at the right place. And yahan se will project. But I know that depth is something I seek, and depth is something I need. But gradually.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, I didn't mean it in any other sense. The depth will be coming through a lot of the way your final output comes. That is visible.
Yes.
But I was just trying to understand your personal approach to how you go about it.
Yeah.
But I think the way if I were to conclude, if I were to summarize what I understood, you are still happy to operate in that compartmentalized fashion, either because it expects that out of you, or how you structure your day.
Yeah.
But you're compartmentalizing yourself. It's not like कि भाई मैं चार हफ्ता एक जगह पे जाके बैठ गया और मैं ये करके ही बाहर निकलूंगा. Maybe the nature of
नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. And in fact there are only 2 things that I'm doing. वो बाकी जो है वो ऐसे लगता है ज्यादा है, but वो उन 2 के अंदर आ जाता है. Right? But because I spoke to my guru the end of last year, and I said, okay, I want to focus on certain things. He said, focus on these 2 things. So for example,
which is that singing and speaking.
Correct. So for example, my aspirations for a lot of the stories that I have, screenplays to be adapted and so on and so forth, I have to park that. Certain projects you have to park. So that comes down to time management. Okay, Eisenhower matrix. Is it urgent? Is it important?
Correct.
To do that.
Parking block mein dal do isko.
If it's urgent but not important, of course you have to do it. But if it's not urgent but important, park it.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So like that, I have to be careful, because again, my guru is very clear. You can't do everything at the same time.
Correct.
I've tried it and that has not worked out well. But even now, it might look like I'm spreading my wings a bit, but it's actually less than normal.
No. I mean, to be very honest, it doesn't look like you're spreading a lot of your wings. Your wings can probably be even far wide. The only thing I was trying to understand was, are you the ones who probably will बहुत बार झपटते रहोगे? कि you're like ऐसा रख के I can go soar and So I think that probably.
So I'm still looking for. I mean, be honest, I'm still looking for that soaring. Space.
Go high and then soar like the eagle soars.
That's what my 5-year plan should hopefully get me to.
Correct.
Right. So sometimes the wings they're too heavy. Right. Then you just come back crashing onto the ground.
But that's part of learning.
That's part of learning. You readjust. Somebody said, okay, failure means you learn something. If you learn something, you're better off. So how is it a failure?
Correct. Absolutely. It's continuous learning. It's a perspective. So coming back to the book point, Wings of Fire.
Silence.
Sorry.
Wings of Fire. I was next to Wings of Fire
Wings
in a bookshop.
bookshop, हाँ.
Oh, that is one
के
of my-
wings है दोनों का.
APJ Abdul Kalam के book के पास है मेरा book.
Correct.
इतना नहीं बिका, but
कि आप silent थे ना.
हाँ. True.
So, but what is the second book about?
Second book is called Let Me Go. So first two books explore the same human theme के what will one human being do for another. So again, we live in sort of, मैं अपना देखूंगा kind of thing, but in my, you can call it utopian world, you can call it whatever it is, I live on hope. Okay, it touches my heart, makes my heart warm fuzzy if someone does something for somebody else. Right? Okay. So first book was how far will a brother go or a sibling. Second book, how far will a friend go. So it is, for the first time, then Melbourne comes into my stories, and it talks about platonic friendship. And it's the sanctity of the friendship remains untouched in the novel, which is what the publisher liked. Because she said somewhere I would expect you to tamper with it, and these two got together. I did not do that at all.
Achha, it's a boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl. It's platonic friendship between a boy and a girl. Childhood friends, and the boy moves to Melbourne, and the girl stays back in India, and they are estranged after being childhood best friends. Landlord-tenant relationship, yeah, and they don't talk for 6 years. But what happens in those 6 years? So 6 years ke baad, somebody informs the boy on the night of his engagement that that she's in a conscious coma, right, for the last 6 years, and that she's now asked for passive euthanasia.
Oh God!
And he's like, "What are you talking about? I had no idea." And she's like, "Well, so on the night of his engagement, on the day after, he flies to India to try and change her mind. The book is called Let Me Go. But he leaves behind his fiance. The fiance is like, "Bhai, who is this?" And then she discovers that at some point they were supposed to get married.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
But it's not what you think.
No,
because as I told you, I don't dilute the sanctity at all.
Correct.
Then how? But there's an explanation for that in the book.
That is what the book is.
And which is an explanation that went down well. So you're always selling something. Right? Even when you write a story, you're hoping कि लोग इसको खरीदे. इस explanation को खरीदे.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And which they did. So that's the story. So the third character is his fiance, and she is very insecure by nature, and she's stunned. Her Anshu is now gone without informing to save some Hindu's life. Who's Hindu? And what, they were supposed to get married? So her life just crumbles like this one day after getting engaged to him. So then it's about the three of them, but primarily the two friendships.
This also definitely sounds like a decent filmy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
I'd like to think there's commercial potential in
definitely. Yeah. Definitely. All the stories. And you're saying that these things come to you when you do your what if scenarios, or you've seen some kisi inspiration ke basis?
The start is almost always a what if scenario.
What if scenario, and then the incidental journeys that could be an inspiration.
So like, I'll tell you, there's a what if scenario that I told you. Okay, what if we wake up and all the money is gone? I have never progressed that idea. It's an interesting what if question, but somewhere my mind is saying it doesn't have legs to be fleshed out.
Correct.
Right? So it just remains as a what if question. This one I'm like, interesting. Thoda aur sochte hain. Okay, that's so layered. Then okay, thoda aur sochte hain. So then become big. Then I'm like, I have to write this. Then I write it. Then I don't know what else to do. Thoda aur sochte hain. Thoda aur likhte hain. Thoda aur sochte hain. So that
आप sequentially सोचते हो कि you have like a chart that you create of.
So interesting. I've read a lot about how people write screenplays and things like that. So the first book now, I just wrote it. And then I wrote myself into a fascinating problem that my characters face. So what happens in the first book is the two brothers, 18 and 20, they're kicked out of their father's house in 1978. They don't have money, they don't have a house, and they have to reach Moscow in 1980. कैसे करेंगे? Fascinating problem, right? I didn't have the answer. So I had to create a character to solve the problem. Then I had to go and backfill that character.
Yeah.
One of the best characters of the book.
Correct.
Their aunt. पहले aunt नहीं थी. So that taught me कि बस थोड़ा planning तो करना पड़ेगा. Otherwise it was messy.
Correct.
Because यहाँ पे भी डालो उसको डालो. Then it had to all flow.
Yeah.
So that thing becomes a bit inefficient. So then on the other extreme, I have people who have planned the entire novel out. But novel नहीं लिखा.
क्यों?
Time.
अच्छा.
पूरा time energy planning में चला गया. एक चैप्टर में क्या होता है पता है, लेकिन चैप्टर नहीं लिखा.
Correct.
So it's like that. So what happens to me is I have now figured out the basis that I will write, not too much, and then I'll plan. Write plan, like that thing.
Iterative fashion में करते
हो.
Correct.
That works for me.
You're working on something right now?
Working on something right now, not actively. I have so much in the past that I need to flesh out. So I'm trying to write the screenplay for Wings of Silence. I'm not a screenplay writer, so that causes, you need training in certain aspects. Because I wrote a draft and I'm like, this feels like a play. It's supposed to be a screenplay. What is the difference?
एक screen के लिए है, but fair enough.
You got to see stuff. And great gifted screenwriters write small things. It just adds so much to that scene.
Correct.
Right? So that's the difference.
But I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the point. Even the play is a visual aspect. So what is the difference between a screenplay and a play?
So a play is, my understanding, is a bit more dialogue heavy.
Okay.
Right? Because you would say that he turned the bottle and he said, Sanjeev, I don't like what you did. Then Sanjeev says this. So it's more dialogue heavy. But if you look at a lot of movies, the biggest thing said is what is not said. Right? The silence.
And the camera itself becomes a very important character in it. The camera जहाँ घूम रहा है उसी हिसाब से.
But technically, when you write a screenplay, you don't write camera angles.
अच्छा.
That is a director's prerogative.
अच्छा. Fair enough.
If the writer is the director, वो अलग बात है. But if the writer is just the writer, you literally just say what happens. You don't say we zoom in. I mean, if you want to say it, you can say that we look at his eyes. Then it's a thing कि हाँ, obviously आप यहाँ से तो देख नहीं सकते हैं.
Correct.
So you have to.
Correct.
Those kind of things are there. I'm also learning the art. I don't know it very well, I must confess.
Interesting.
So I mean, because even novel writing, I didn't learn. But it came to me. With all the.
Were you a novel reader though?
Yes.
Do you read a lot of books?
Yes. Used to. I don't read as much as I should, and my wife always tells me, because the big rule is writers should read.
So ideas मिलते हैं आपको.
And just the way how to write, ये वो अच्छा पढ़ो. She always tells me कि कहाँ कैसे writer हो. अब तो मैं लिखना भी कम हो गया अभी तो. But yeah, there was
अगर मेरा लिखा हुआ मैं ही पढ़ने लग गया तो क्या? मेरा लिखा हुआ मैं ही पढ़ने लग गया तो क्या दूसरों को पढ़ना चाहिए? So correct. But you think fiction के कुछ real life का भी सोचा है कि like you want to?
नहीं, हाँ तो जो courses हैं, so I will write a book on the leadership lessons from Mahabharata in my mind. I will also write a book on supercars. So I will write a book on the self-help, self-development, self-leadership. It is being written very slowly. Very, very slowly.
Correct. And the good part is you have a content. You have a lot of content already. And
content is there. I just have to stitch it together with stories. Because nobody likes to read. Like it has to be, the reading has to be engaging. Like, the monk who sold his Ferrari still had such engaging content.
Correct.
Right. So
since you mentioned monk who sold his Ferrari, one of the podcasts that we have, उसमें मैंने उसको theme करके use किया था.
Right.
Because it is the story of our kind of background का gentleman who had gone to the US as part of his routine, right? जो काम करने के लिए जाते हैं, and there he got the adhyatmic calling. सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के he went and became a monk in India.
Wow.
So that's his story. That's his journey where he went to the ashram and learned everything for 6-7 years, and now he's completely in the adhyatmic journey.
Wow.
तो उसके लिए मैंने वो tagline use किया था, the monk who sold his Ferrari.
That is amazing.
That is amazing. Absolutely. And that's the reason I said that's the kind of journees we want to explore here. कि भाई लोगों को ये thought आते कैसे? कि भाई मैं छोड़ दूं सब कुछ. That is something else, if a 26-year-old gets a calling, मैं सब कुछ छोड़ के.
So what happens with calling is, it comes a few times.
It comes, yes.
It comes a few times, but at some time I have to use this word,
so
but I'm
loud.
using it in a good way. The pressure is so high.
Correct.
Like you're like, मेरे को और कुछ मैं कर भी नहीं सकता. तो I have to respond to this call.
तो he was sharing the story कि like कभी-कभी वो जैसे ध्रुवा का you would have heard the story of Prince Dhruva, right? कैसे अड़चन आते रहते हैं उनके लाइफ में. तो he was sharing stories like that, he was like जिस दिन उनको फिलाडेल्फिया से निकल के आना था वहाँ पे स्नोस्टॉर्म हो गया, तो his flight got delayed. तो लोग उनको बिठा के प्रवचन देने लगे तो क्यों नहीं जाना चाहिए तूने. थोड़ी देर बाद सिचुएशन ऐसा हो गया कि लाइक वो बोल रहे तू तो जा ही रहा है, पता नहीं हम कब आ पाएंगे, हम भी आएंगे, यही रास्ता सही लग रहा है तू जो कर रहा है, हम क्यों यहाँ मर रहे हैं, पहले हमको भी आना है. सो I mean, the point I'm saying is that it becomes so, at some point it starts becoming very clear, like regardless of whatever is the noise around you, बस यही है. I think you just got to wait for that calling sometimes, किसे कि ये आ जाए तो फिर मैं चले जाएंगे.
The right word, clarity, clear. एक बार वो clear हो जाए ना, and in fact even in my course I talk about how clarity is the seed that grows into confidence.
Correct.
So I had, it's more clear than say 10 years ago.
Then 10 years, yeah, correct.
कि बस यही है. One life. Give it a go. But because 9 to 5, a lot of people we talk to, they're miserable.
Correct.
Right? I mean, I don't want to generalize again, but so many of them are like, I'm just doing it for the money. But one thought is कि whatever we do it to experience happiness.
Correct.
कुछ भी हो.
Correct.
Right? So how is that helping you with your goal?
Correct. तो happiness नहीं मिल रहा तो क्या करोगे?
फिर क्या उसका क्या होगा? Yeah, you're sending your good kids to a private school, sure. But is that delivering that emotion?
Correct. Correct.
Of course, Vedanta says that you don't need anything to experience that emotion. I mean, scriptures, whatever. They say, है, अंदर ही है.
Correct.
तुम ही हो. True nature है.
Correct.
Sat, Chit, Anand. You're Ananda.
Correct.
Right? You're infinite bliss. Not even this much bliss. You're infinite bliss.
Experience it. Tap onto it.
Tap onto it. But so sometimes I feel that I think people somehow should feel that urge to break out because they're in a prison, aren't they? Don't they feel like they're in a prison? They say it. Then break out of it.
जो होता देखा जाएगा.
See, there is on one end there is जो होता देखा जाएगा. On one end there is the plan. It's like writing a novel.
Correct.
One end is like just write. One end there is plan. I think you have to find the midway.
Correct.
So calculate it a bit, but someplace you will not get all the information.
Correct.
थोड़ा तो बस you'll have to leave.
करना पड़ेगा. Correct.
That is where the grace comes in. But at least you take the first step. He's not going to take it for you.
Yeah.
But if you take the first steps, then he might clear the path for you.
10 बार वो तो आपको हिंट देंगे कि मैं हूँ, you know, कर ले.
चलना शुरू करो.
अगर नहीं करोगे तो फिर टफ.
मैं रास्ता क्लियर कर सकता हूँ तुम्हारे लिए.
Correct.
लेकिन I cannot walk for you.
Correct.
So I think I would really like for people to have that courage. And वो courage का source क्या है? Again, divinity है.
Correct.
Right. Again, Guru said, whenever you have face fear, you think of Lord Shiva and him destroying the fear with his arrow. That's an image that stuck with me. So I had so many fears, I still have. Some of them I've overcome with this simple thing. Okay, Lord Shiva will take care of it.
Any fear you want to share?
Yeah, Rabi, the one that comes to mind is probably a bit very difficult given situations. But I had a fear of flying. Right? I don't want to say I've overcome that because now again it's like
with the incident.
But somehow I'm like, yeah, he'll look after it. And if it's time, it's time.
Correct. एक बार वो thought आ गया ना कि भाई कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Like so that becomes.
But I must confess, it comes more when you plus others are involved, when your family is involved.
Yeah, correct.
Then it's a heightened.
If it's you alone, then that's a different story.
That's a different story.
Correct. But especially if there is a kid involved and you want to protect and वो सब.
Yes, then it becomes problematic.
Correct.
So obviously I'm working through it. So somehow I'm like, yeah, courage आ जाएगा. You know, support आ जाएगा. वहीं से तो आएगा. वहीं से तो आता है सब.
Correct. Absolutely. तो I heard your point कि आपको डेप्थ में घुसना है, but फिर भी मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछने वाला हूँ. बुक हो गया, जैसे मैंने स्टार्ट में भी पूछा था. इतने सारे चीजें मैंने लिस्ट कर दी. आगे क्या? रॉकेट साइंटिस्ट तो मैंने ऐसे ही बोल दिया था. बट देन सिर्फ अपने let your passion fly very high. But what else? What interests you these days?
See, now I'm focused on these areas. I want to grow my coaching business. I have certain goals, certain milestones. So I'm working on that. And in a few years, I want it to be at a certain stage so that it frees up time for me. And with that free time, I will create.
And
more music.
Are you a one-man army right now, or you have a team that works with you?
I have a one-man army. Answer is both. So I have few people who help me on a project basis. So outsource. I have a virtual assistant who helps me. I have a web developer. A virtual assistant does a lot of content creation, marketing. I have a few others who help with marketing, but very like they have their own freelance clients, freelance businesses. So that I have some support. I cannot do everything by myself.
Correct.
But I'm not in a position yet to full-time hire people and all that. Hopefully in the future.
Very good. Okay. Very good. So that is what you want to grow. Then singing is what you want to focus on.
Yeah. When time frees up,
most important.
Music and stories, movies.
आपने plays के बारे में सोचा है कभी? Do you see yourself on the stage as an actor?
Yes, I do. My wife doesn't agree. Because लोग ये कहते रहते हैं कि somebody will suddenly tell कि Shriram, you should do stand-up comedy. And my wife will give me an eye roll going, not another thing. He's trying to, don't add. But acting, I mean, we just joke about it. But I'm a very average actor.
So you have tried acting?
हाँ, मतलब बुरा नहीं हूँ मैं. बोले ऐसा भी नहीं है कि भाई रॉबर्ट डीनिरो आ गया स्टेज पे. नहीं, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं. तो I enjoy it, but ऐसे देखा जाए तो so many things I enjoy.
Where did you act?
Plays. Plays only.
यहाँ पे?
School में we did some plays. No, not. I'm not part of the vibrant play market here in Melbourne. Nobody has spotted my talent. Having said that, I acted in a Ramayana play about 10 years ago for Chinmay Mission. So that was a very wonderful experience. I acted as Sage Vashishta.
क्या बात है?
Vashishta Muni. So that was nice.
ज्ञान दिया, राम को चुना, राम को ग्रूम किया.
हाँ. विश्वामित्र को ठंडा किया. So it was good fun. But ऐसा कोई वो burning वो नहीं है. I mean, even I am like here at some point ज़्यादा हो गया. You know, so it's a nice to do. It's definitely not a must do or calling or something. Like
Fair enough.
But if I ever direct something, again, I don't have a directing vasana, right? I mean, all these are vasanas, right? They are tendencies, inherent tendencies that bursting to express themselves. So I don't have a real wo kida to direct. I don't have that. But if I were to, I would be the kind of director who would tell actors how to do it.
अच्छा. And let them do it.
No, but I'd show them. Okay, this is what I'm
thinking. हाँ, आप करके दिखाओगे.
हाँ, मैं करके दिखाऊंगा. I'm that kind.
Correct.
मेरे को technicality, lighting, lenses, वो फिलहाल समझ में नहीं आता. So I don't think I'm qualified for a director.
Once you get into it, you will understand that.
Correct. But again, I don't want to because there are billion directors that are better than me.
Correct.
So let them do that.
Fair enough.
But the source of the idea, that I'm qualified to give.
Correct. And that fair enough. Fair point. I'm glad that you have that clarity.
Yes.
एक तो इस सब में पूछना रह गया. TEDx speaker. How did that happen?
So I'll tell you the simple answer for a lot of these things, okay? Because मेरे को funnily काफी लोग ऐसे फोन करके पूछते हैं कि कैसे किया, ये कैसे किया, वो कैसे किया, ये कैसे किया, ऑनलाइन था, अप्लाई किया, हो गया. Simple answer was that.
Right.
So I think everything is a Google search away these days, right? We confuse ourselves. इतना टाइम बिताते हैं स्क्रीन पे, but we don't do some basic.
Correct. It's all about going and figuring out the process.
ढूंढो मिल जाता है. So, but TEDx is कि हाँ, I wanted to do that because when I decided to be a speaker, I knew that one of my credibility thing was TEDx. Right. So then I Google searched. So okay, ये सब हो रहा है TEDx यहाँ पे, and I watched out for their dates. They all have themes. And see, I mean, COVID took something away from all of us, right? Because everyone had plans. So at that time, what had happened was I got selected for TEDx KC. At December 2019, I got the call. And the event was supposed to be in May 2020. So I felt like it was taken away. So then determination kicked in. कि मैं तो ये करके रहूँगा. So then I searched कि कहाँ हो सकता है. Then I applied to TEDx Monash. And वहाँ पे हुआ. अच्छा वहाँ पे देना है. But they wanted me to do it in a certain way. Use your poetry. And so I delivered.
Because that's what it was, right? It was
format.
very poet. हाँ.
Yeah. So I delivered poetry.
वो भी birds के ऊपर ही था.
Correct. There was one that was on a bird, the little bird.
Correct.
So that is again about courage. So the talk was called Power of Inspiration. So it was purely delivered in that format. Then there was another talk on nature. Right, the lion. I forgot the poem now, but it is the nature of a lion to roar.
You wrote those?
I wrote. Yeah. I wrote.
So it has to be an original creation.
Yeah. I mean, I actually wouldn't read someone else's poetry because now I know that it has to come from me. So that's the level of like my true nature has to express itself. Like why would I take someone else's thoughts?
Correct.
It has to be mine.
Correct.
So I decided. So one was on true nature, one was on self-love, like man in the mirror kind of context, things like that.
Wonderful. Thank you for spending time with us and sharing this wonderful journey of yours. Okay. जिस तरीके से आपने बताया ये तो क्लियर है कि ये बहुत आगे जाने वाला है क्योंकि आपके खुद के दिमाग में आपका क्लैरिटी है. You are clear yourself about where you want to take this. You have those goals and like you have been saying, your guru says, always have your goals high.
Yeah.
Okay, that is how a transformation is going to happen.
Yeah.
We wish you all the very best with your depth if you want to go there. But as a personal request, I would say I would love to see something spread as well.
Sure.
और कुछ लेके आइए.
Sure.
Because that variety जो आप लाते हो, उसमें भी आप excellence लेके आते हो, वो हमें देखने की इच्छा है as well wishers. So thank you once again.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Any concluding words you want to say it or tell?
I want to applaud you for doing this work. I believe you've been doing this for more than a year. I think this is number 20 or something like that you said.
Number 20 is the one that is going to happen now, but by the time we come up with our podcast, it will
Yes.
probably
So a number of podcasts you've done. So I want to applaud you for your consistency of effort. I think consistency is a big word, and for you to follow through on the vision. I mean, it all originates as an idea, but you brought it to life.
Yeah.
So I want to applaud you for the work you've done because I find it inspiring. So So I so-called inspire people, but it has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So I take it from others and I give it to some others. So it's always that. So I find it personally inspiring. So thank you so much for calling me and inviting me. In doing this, I feel very privileged. So my gratitude.
Our pleasure. Thank you so very much. And viewers, hope you enjoyed this as well. As always, we'll be back with another cool Karni journey in our next episode. Stay tuned. Thank you.